Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new series for the channel. We're going to be playing some Battle Brothers. Developed by Overhyped Studios, Battle Brothers can be most closely compared to games like Mount and Blade Warband, except all of the combat is kind of a top-down, hex-based strategy style. At its core though, Battle Brothers is in fact a strategy RPG where you control a company of mercenaries in search of blood and coin. The setting is that of a fantasy medieval world, not only inhabited by the likes of humans, but it is also plagued with more mythical beings such as orcs, demons, and even the undead. Now, as far as my experience in the game, I have played maybe about 8 hours, enough to know that this game is as tough as balls. So I don't expect that we're going to make it very far here because we are going to be playing on veteran. I wouldn't even dare try expert right now. It's just, it would be way too tough. But anyway, let's get this started. So we're going to name our company. I don't know what to name our company. So the Deluksian, hold on, Deluksian Bros? No. Deluksian Dudes? No. Deluksian Delinquents. I love it. Delinquents. Delinquents. There we go. Deluksian Delinquents. I love it. Actually, the Deluksian Delinquents because, you know, just sounds more professional. So we get to choose a banner. The hand doesn't do it for me. Sorry. Another hand, just an animal hand. And then crying lady, why? Because we make all the women cry? That seems tragic and terrible. Ooh, I like that one. We'll come back to that one. This is like a whole bunch of our brothers stabbing a heart together. Oh, I like it. It signifies unity. I really like that. And then we have, boring. Boring. Ooh, death. Death is always fun. Cross, no, too religious. Oh, he should not be standing. Seriously. Or, I don't know. That doesn't seem right somehow. No, boring. No, boring. Ooh, hey, very Warhammer-ish. And then we have 3 swords. I kind of like that one too. That's all right. I like, you know, something a little bit uplifting. Ooh, a naturally large tongue bear dude. That's creepy, actually. Ooh, that's terrible. Undead being eaten by something also wrapped up in a snake. That's very, very dark. Too dark for me. A boar. That seems dirty somehow. I'm not sure about that one. Ooh. I kind of like that. That's cool, but it is very dark, very dark. Okay, I think we'll settle for the many dudes stabbing a heart together in unison. I love that. It signifies unity. So we have a late game crisis available to us. We can choose random or we can choose one of the 3. So we can choose war. The first late game crisis will be a ruthless war for power between noble houses. That's alright, but seems, I don't know, not terribly interested in that one. The Greenskin invasion. The first late game crisis will be an invasion of greenskin hordes threatening to sweep away the world of man. Ooh, I like that. Or we have, I've only played random up to now, and I have not made it up to any of these, so, I mean, odds of us making it up to these pretty slim. The first late game crisis will be the ancient dead arising again to take back what was once theirs. I do like the idea of an undead scourge. But I think we're going to go with the greenskin invasion because who doesn't like orcs? I like orcs. I'm sure all of you like orcs. Let's play. So I'm going to go through the basics of the game as quickly as I can. There's a lot to go over here, but once all that's done, we should be able to move through it fairly quickly. I'm also going to read the dialogue because there is quite a bit of dialogue in this game. All right, let's get going. The last battle. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hard to track down Hoggart, the Weasel, and his band of raiders, but it was them who found you first. An ambush. Some joke about horses cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of your men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout in pain. Ah! A harried glance sees the men charge without you to make a valiant last stand, met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet eyes with the captain. A last nod before his throat is cut. You are left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all your will, you can muster slowly to rise again. To the end! So you always start this way, the first battle where your captain gets killed is pretty tragic. Oh no, he's dead again. And of course, there's the Captain Bernhardt. Oh wow, maybe I wonder if there's a chance he can survive. I don't think so. I think he's pretty much dead every time. So this is the combat map, and notice it is hex-based. And there's a lot of information to be had here, but we always start off with 1 archer, an axeman, and a spearman. Now we can change around those weapons later, depending on their skills and what have you, but so basically it's hex-based, and your skills for each character is almost solely dependent on what type of weapon they have. For example, this character here has a crossbow and he can shoot a bolt. Now, every action requires a certain amount of action points and will cause a certain amount of fatigue. If your fatigue reaches its maximum, you can't do anything else. And of course, once you round out of action points, you can't do anything else more that turn. So moving does cost action points and of course using our weapons and stuff. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna explain more as we go on here. I just want to get this first battle done. So I'm going to use my bolt. I can hit 1 on the keyboard and we're gonna try and hit this brigand thug. He's very bald. All these guys are bald. Oh, except for him. I guess he's not really bald. We missed. So 2 on the keyboard will reload the crossbow, and it does cost a little bit more fatigue. 20 fatigue to reload that, pretty expensive. There is Hoggart the Weasel. He looks kind of beat up already. Oh, he's wounded. Interesting. Okay, so we do have a spearman. Notice the spearman can thrust as well as form a spear wall. Very valuable skill. This spear wall thing, very cool. And he also has a shield, and he has 2 shield abilities. He's got the knockback, which knocks him back, and of course, and then the shield wall, which is an excellent way to defend, play defensively. So you could theoretically do a phalanx by using the shield wall and the spear wall together. It's a great combination, but right now, I think all we want to do is stab them in the face. Ooh. Right in the eyeball. So you'll notice there is 3 bars above every character here. The top one is their head armor, so their helmet. The second one is their armor, and the third one is their hit points. All of these can prevent damage. I mean, sorry, except for the hit points. The head armor can prevent damage as well as the armor can prevent damage. So you can do damage to the armor and the head armor without actually doing damage to the body. But once that armor is gone, then they're pretty vulnerable. So we don't have enough action points to use our axe, unfortunately. So next turn. So notice there's an order here. This is all depending on initiative. So the higher the initiative, the sooner you're going to act in battle. Our archer cannot shoot through our guys. As a matter of fact, if I try, you'll notice there's a little arrow with a shield there. It means that there's a high chance, or there's a chance that I will hit my guy instead of actually hitting the enemy. And trying to shoot through guys is always more difficult. You'll notice there's only a 14% chance to hit him. So let's move up here and see if we can get a better shot. I'm sure we can. Oh, nice hit. Didn't quite kill him though, unfortunately. So end turn. So this is a pretty intense strategy game, and it's really tough. Stabby stab, nothing. Stabby stab. Oh, just a little nick. Oh, that's unfortunate. No point in playing defensively right now. See, he's trying to knock out my guy. That's not cool. This guy has a big axe. He does not have... Oh, I can reload my crossbow and fire. Beautiful shot. Excellent job. We're going to rename these guys after you guys, of course, which brings me to my next point. If you want to be part of the series and you want to, you know, probably die in this game with me, please leave a comment below with the name you would like me to use, and preference will always be given to those who have not been a part of my games before and for those who comment early. So yeah, I'd much rather use the names from you guys rather than the names that are assigned to us. It's totally random what we get here. So we have Dirk, Reiner, and Ernst. I'd much rather use your names. Anyway, so let's go to our loot. Ooh, excellent. We got another wooden shield. That's good. It's always random at the beginning. So we got a wooden shield and a pickaxe. I've never used a pickaxe with any of my guys before. Every weapon has different abilities, so I might give that a shot just to see what that's like. All right, let's leave. Okay, let's read the dialogue here, and then we'll go over the game. The aftermath. You're alive. You've won. The adrenaline fades, and in its wake, you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow shaft. Your chest heaves. Pain for breath. Everything blurs. The company has been devastated, cut down to but a few men. And that bastard Hoggart did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel he is. What now, Captain? A voice says from behind. It's Reiner the Butcher, who sits down beside you, bedding his bloody axe on his legs. You turn to him to reply, but before you can answer, he continues. Bernhardt's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader. But all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Ernest joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. Then Dirk. Save the ceremony and the anointments for another day. Let's give the men a good burial and return to Westerholz to collect your pay. The Weasel's men are slain, after all. Besides, Captain, we ought to see that wound before we lose you too. Wouldn't want to leave Ernst in charge, right? All right, so be it. Let's move on. Okay, so we're out in the middle of nowhere. Let's go over the basics of the game. For those of you that have already played this or have watched other people on YouTube, this is floating around all over on YouTube. I'm sure you've already seen this stuff, so you can skip ahead a little bit, but for those of you that want to learn a little bit more about the basics of the game, I will explain to you what I know so far. So this is your character. We can select our characters just by clicking on them like this, and then each character has a list of statistics as well as a paper doll where they have their armor and weapons. So let's go over, first of all, every character has a probability or a possibility of having sort of a natural ability, something that they have before you even meet them. So this guy, for example, Dirk is dexterous, which gives him +5 melee skill. An excellent start. Oh, that is really nice. I like that. And then he's also gluttonous. So he eats more. He eats more than a normal person. So I mean, that's okay. I'm willing to take +5 melee skill. He can pig out all the time. That's fine. I've seen fat. I've seen all sorts of different natural abilities. It's kind of cool. He's also a companion, which means he's one of the guys we start with. And there's some extra motivation because it says companion that I do want to keep him in our group as long as possible. So yeah. So there's Dirk. Let's go over his stats. So head armor and body armor are equivalent to what you're wearing. So you notice your head armor here, our head armor here is 40 hit points, and our body armor is 65, directly translates into the head armor and body armor right here. So these are like hit points. So when you take a hit to the head, they have to penetrate that 40 hit points before they actually get down into the juicy bits of your head, which is highly vulnerable. Anytime your head is penetrated, it takes double damage. So, and then of course there's your hit points, and you'll notice these little stars here. Now, I don't know entirely what they do, but I'm pretty sure that means that when we move up in a level that we get a little bonus to the points that we can get in health, if we choose it. So yeah, but anyway, hit points are pretty self-explanatory. When you run out, you probably die, but not always. We'll get to that. And then your action points, that's how many actions you can take per turn. And then your fatigue, very important, like I explained during the battle. If your fatigue gets maxed out, you can't do anything else. And then your morale, very, very important. Morale is directly affected by all the things that are currently happening. So right now he is dissatisfied. And you'll notice he's happy because he won a battle, but he's very upset because he lost most of the company. And this will change over time, depending on what's going on, which is kind of cool. Your resolve is how easily you're affected by the negative things that occur, and that directly relates to what your morale is going to be and how many negative effects you get. And then the initiative determines how quickly you operate in battle. If you have a high initiative, there's a much higher chance that you're going to act first in battle. And this is pretty important. It's pretty important, especially important for like archers and stuff like that. Actually, it's even important, like spearmen, because you can put up that spear wall as a defensive move before they move in. So initiative is actually quite important. And then your melee skill, very important, determines how well you hit in battle. Then your ranged skill, same thing, except with ranged weapons. Your melee defense, this always starts low with everybody. It's one of these skills that you definitely want to get up higher because, of course, the higher it is, the better you are at defending yourself beyond your armor. So I guess you avoid hits entirely. I guess I should read that through. But anyway, same with ranged defense, same thing. And then you have your damage. This directly relates to the weapon you're carrying. So notice that spear is 25 to 30 damage. Same here, 25 to 30. And then your effectiveness against armor. So how well you are at penetrating armor. And your chance to hit head. As I said before, it's very important to hit your enemy in the head because you can do double damage potentially. So this is a good skill to get up. I don't know that we have any control over this when you level up, but there are some perks and stuff you can get later on, I think, that affect that, as well as possibly your melee skill, and maybe the type of weapon you're using might have a special ability to hit the head better, whatever. And then you have your vision. That is how far you can see in combat. Not as important for a hand-to-hand combat dude, but very important for an archer, because if you can't see that far, you can't hit the enemy. There we go. Pretty straightforward. Excellent. Okay, so then there is also perks. This is our experience points, by the way. Perks I'm not going to go over right now because there's too much to go over, and we'll touch on that when we actually gain a level and we can, explore that a little bit further. So let's get back here. You'll notice that we can change around our weapons and armor to all of our guys. Also, let's quickly take a look at our skills. So this guy's really good at melee skill. Perfect. I'll keep him with the spear and shield. This guy is also, notice he has 2 stars on melee skill. So when he moves up in level, we should be able to add more points to melee skill very quickly. I like that. I think I want... Now, the downside to using a two-handed weapon is that you can't use a shield. And without a shield, it's... You know what? Especially early game, you're really vulnerable. So, although the Woodcutter's Axe has some great bonuses, like you can split shields and you can do enormous amounts of damage with it, but I think I'd rather just take that off him right now, and we'll try the pickaxe and a wooden shield. He's a little bit better defended like that, and he maybe doesn't do as much damage, but I actually... what kind of skills? So, batter. A strike can be... this strike can be felt through the thickest of armor and will leave a lasting mark. So it has better armor penetration. That's really cool. And then this one here, destroy armor. Oh, that's even better. I like that. So that's a neat little weapon. We can actually destroy people's armor. That's cool. Right on. Okay, and then we have our archer, who is, of course, has a special ability of range skill. He's He's definitely definitely the guy we want to keep with that crossbow. Now, there is ammunition, so in combat he'll only have 10 shots. After that, he's going to be out of ammunition, so it's very important to make sure he has a secondary weapon. I'm going to actually give him the woodcutter's axe. Now, the downside to carrying more stuff is that it affects your initiative. So if I put the axe on there, you'll notice his initiative went down. But that's okay. He's got pretty high initiative anyway, and often I wait on the first turn with most of my guys. Anyway, so we can also put bandages on guys so that they can heal critical wounds in combat during actual combat. So let's get to the main screen here, and we'll talk about some of the basic stuff here. So we've got our gold crowns, which is of course money we can use to buy and sell things, as well as hire people. We've got our provisions. Now, food's very important in this game. You have to make sure that you keep ample amounts of food to feed your men. So the more people you have, the faster your food's gonna go. You'll also notice that your food degrades over time. I think we can see that here. Sorry for all of you that already know all this stuff, but I want to be sure that everybody can participate and join us. So you'll notice that food also spoils within a certain amount of time. Different foods spoil at different times, so you got to watch that as well. I have not run out of food yet in this game, but I'm sure I will at some point. So your tools and supplies are things that you use to repair weapons and armor during downtime when you're not in combat. So you'll notice that we managed to pull off this pickaxe and shield from an enemy, as well as he damaged his armor and his hood. Maybe that was damaged from before, but whatever. So tools will automatically start to repair those items so long as they're on a person. So you can actually repair things down here too if they're damaged if you want, but you do have to watch it because tools are very expensive generally. Sometimes you get a good deal on them, but they're generally pretty expensive to buy, so you don't want to waste them on just repairing whatever. So and then we have our ammunition. So after every fight, it'll automatically replenish any of the ammunition that you've used up. So these quiver of boats are automatically filled up by that number. And those are also pretty expensive, but yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. And then your medical supplies, your guys will automatically heal over time as long as you're in the overland map. And they will heal even faster if they're in reserve, and even faster than that if you are in camp. This guy, you'll notice he's got a light wound. He'll be fixed up in 1 day, and I wonder if that shows... Oh, I never looked at his special abilities, so he's loyal. So there's less likely of him running away, I guess. Interesting. And so less likely to run away even if we run out of crowns and provisions. That's kind of cool. He also has iron lungs, plus 5 fatigue recovery per turn. That's pretty good. What about our other guy? Oh, wow, he's the same thing. Iron lungs and Spartan. Who needs more than oatmeal and water? This character finds no joy in eating and will use less provisions as well as... so that's actually great. That kind of balances out the guy that eats more provisions, the gluttonous guy. Excellent. So good start, good start. Don't get too close to anybody because they're probably going to die. So anyway, going across here, and then we have our ambitions. We don't have an ambition yet, but as time goes on, we get to select an ambition for our group, sort of like a goal for our guys. And if we succeed, we get possibly items, morale, and who knows what as a reward. So that's kind of nice. And then we have center camera, we have lock camera, we have toggle tracking footprints. So as you travel on the overland map, just like in games like Mount & Blade Warband, we're going to see footprints and such, and we can track people, etc. Camping is very important if you want to heal a guy that's really badly damaged. Like I said, this guy here who's badly damaged, we put him in reserve, and he's going to heal even faster in camp. Also, your guys use their tools more effectively, so you will repair weapons and armor faster. So that's kind of nice. And then we have show factions and relations. So of course there's different factions in the world. The better the relationship with these factions, the better the missions you're going to get, and the better the prices you're going to get, etc., etc., etc. So, and then obituary. So when people die, we can... Oh, it doesn't show the captain in that. That's disappointing. So the 2 guys that always die at the beginning of this game, you don't get to see their name and everything, but it'll be fun to see all of the names that you guys put in on this list at some point. All right, so there we go. We're good to go. So now we are trying to go to Westerholz because that's where the mission objectives will take us. Let's go. So there is a day-night cycle. This is basically a real-time game. We can pause it at any time we want and look at stuff and do all that, but it is a real-time game. So right now, everything in the world is happening, and this is a procedurally generated map. Everything's different every single time you play. So we're about to see some dialogue. The return to Westerholz. What a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Westerholz. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company days ago, Bertolf the Younger, no doubt expects you to return in more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house and offers bread and wine, while a servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze as an elderly man with shaky hands tends to your wounds. A pin pierces your skin, the first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth till you think you hear one break. Bertolf the Younger sits beside you and asks if you took care of Hoggart. You shake your head. We killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he wants to push it into your wound. You nod, and he does so. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire, flesh from flame, a golem of pain. Bertolf the Younger hands you a goblet of wine. You did well, sellsword. The brigands have been removed. Though it is a shame that Hoggart still lives. Yeah, we expect to get paid for this. Bertolf the Younger gasps. Well, naturally 400 crowns as agreed upon. He gestures toward a servant who rushes to your side with pay in hand. I wonder, might I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that is Hoggart once and for all. I would pay you again, of course, another 400 crowns, shall we say? Reiner the Butcher scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but Dirk stands to speak. Yes, but the company is in ruin. We need to rebuild it. Without the Deluksian delinquents, Reiner the Butcher would drink the crowns away and end up begging on the streets. And Ernst, by the gods, we all know he'd go chasing the womenfolk until one stove his rotted head in. We need the Deluksian delinquents. It's all we have. What say you, Captain? Reiner the Butcher burps and raises his cup to you. Ernst playfully thumbs his nose and nods. Kill that bastard Hoggart or not. It's up to you, Captain. Yes, we have unfinished business with Hoggart. Bertolf the Younger claps his hands in satisfaction. Excellent. My little birds will need some time to find where Hoggart is hiding his hide now. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies so that you'll be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I shall see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave Bertolf the Younger's house, you stand on the outskirts of Westerhold. Dirk seeks a word with you. We need more men, Captain. I know I gave a big speech back there, but bravado won't do shite. We need more warm bodies in the ranks. I figure we find 3 good men, buy them some decent weapons, and dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this Bodung's town's got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life. Or we could travel to Helstad in the southeast. Them city folk aren't as hardy as these country bumpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping to rest there. Then that's what we shall do. Alright, so we're heading to town. Okay, so this is town. Every town is completely different. Again, totally procedurally generated. So you will notice here, I'm just going to pause it. You'll notice that every town has certain facilities. For example, this town has a lumber camp, which should give us access to a Fletcher. And it also has a gatherer's hut, which might make, I think that makes medical supplies a little bit less expensive. So, and every town is completely different. And yeah, so that's pretty exciting. I really like that about this game, is that just the chance, I mean, it's totally random every time you play. I like the difference every time you play. So we have a Fletcher, of course. Now we aren't going to be able to afford very much. We have 2,400 crowns. I wouldn't mind an extra quiver of bolts. So I will buy that, and I'm also, do I want to give him a better weapon now? I don't think so. I think I'm going to get the rest of my men. So the reason I bought the extra bolts is our archer here, our crossbowman, he only has 1 quiver of bolts, which means he can only use 10 shots in a battle, and then it gets replenished at the end of battle, but doing this, he'll have 20 shots. So I like that a lot. Let's go and see if we can hire some new men. So we've got, okay, so these are really expensive. Wow. So we've got Gisbert, who is he's a boyar. He's probably excellent, but we're not going to spend $1,000 on somebody. We need to hire 3 people. And Bertwin, yes, he's a lumberjack. He's probably great with that axe. Woodsman, Eric, these guys are way too expensive. We're going to go see if we can find some less expensive guys. It's not about how much money we spend at this point. As a matter of fact, we want to spend as little money as possible. Let's take a look at the market. So I do want to, I like our current setup, but do we all have headgear? Let's take a look here. So we've got one guy without headgear, and we've got one guy with a cheap headgear, and I wouldn't mind looking at some armor, because the current armor we have, 55 is pretty good. Maximum HP of 55, so that's not bad. Let's see if we can find one more piece of headgear. So this one is 30, and this one is also 30, but this one's cheaper. But this one also needs repair, so we're going to use some tools to repair it. I don't always recommend that because you can waste all of your money just buying tools in this game. Tools are pretty expensive. Let's take a look at that. If there is any tools here, yeah. So 20 tools for $294. We can probably find them cheaper elsewhere, but the medical supplies, that's not a bad price for medical supplies, I don't think. I've seen them cheaper. I've seen them as low as 100, but I will grab some extra ones right now anyway. And I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's get out of here. I don't think we need any more weapons or armor at this point. There's nothing special here anyway. Let's go. So let's go check out that other town and see if we can hire 3 more men. We're going to go to Hellstad. This is a much bigger town, so there might be a much larger pool to choose from. We can also speed this up a little bit. Now, these episodes, I'm going to try to keep them at 30 minutes, but there's going to be times where we're in combat, and I don't want to go to the next step. Well, I guess we could, I guess. Okay, along the way, as Hellstad's skyline appears on the horizon, Ernst seeks a word with you. Never been to Hellstad before, but I've been around ones that look a lot like it. Cities like these are great for selling goods, as all these prissy, pompous pricks love to have their goods delivered. With so many merchants, you can find almost anything you need to. Keep an eye out for bargains and don't get swiggled by them cutthroat merchants. Ryan the Butcher sees fit to add his own opinion of what you should do. If there's a good tavern, I'd say that's where we should go first. Nothing helps a man down on his luck more than a good pint. God knows we earned it. Ernst shakes his head. You say that every time we stop in a town. You say that even when you're already drunk. I'll keep that in mind. Excellent. Okay, keep going. So pointless dialogue, but still kind of fun. All right, so we're in Hellstad, and there is wineries and a winery and something else. Hold on. Let me just see. A die maker. So there is trading in this game as well, so you'll notice that there's going to be some dies here, and they will keep producing dies. Now you got to do have to watch the prices. Notice the worth value. So it's worth 400, but we can buy them at 488. They will go down in price at these places where they manufacture them, so do keep an eye on that. And the wine, same thing. It's more expensive than the worth. So it's good to buy them, of course, when the worth is, or when the item is lower or the same price as the worth, and you can make some money on that. We're probably going to need some food right away, and it's a pretty good price. 25 for 61 grains, good for 7 days. Let's grab that. That raises our foods a little bit. And see, tools and supplies, a little bit less expensive here, so we are going to buy some more tools because we are going to be doing some serious repairing over time. And the ammunition, I think it was a better price for ammunition at the other place. We'll be going back there anyway. And is there any... Oh, I will take that Akitan cap. That's slightly better than one of our main warriors' helmet. And that should be good. Okay, so let's go to hire. We're gonna have to buy more stuff anyway as soon as we hire some people, but okay, let's get some cheap people. Cheap as we can go. So we've got Denmar, who's a cripple. Oh, that's not good. Gernot, who's a peddler. So all of these affect what they're good at. So a peddler, although Denmar, he's cheap. He's super cheap. He's good for dying. Yeah, he's only 4 gold per day. I think we'll grab him, and we're going to grab Baldwin, who's a merchant, a peddler. I'm just going for cheap right now. And Herbhold, he is a monk. Sure, he might be good at hand-to-hand combat. I don't know. And then that's pretty much all we can afford. We can buy an extra guy for fodder, I suppose. I don't know if we'll be able to equip him, but we can hire an extra guy for fodder just for fun. Okay, let's go see what we have here. So some of these guys, most of these guys don't have anything. So these 2 guys don't have anything. This guy does have a stick. So we're gonna buy some weapons and armor. Yes, so let's go back to town. Let's buy what we can for... Hold on, I gotta look at their skills. So this guy is a ranger, actually. He's better at bows. He'll get better at bows over time. This guy, he's good general combat, I guess. He's really good at health. His health is gonna go up very, very fast, so he'll make a good frontline guy. Does he get, what, survivor? Has a 90% chance to survive if struck down and not killed by fatality. Excellent. This guy has... Asthmatic, -5 recovery per turn, fatigue recovery, and it has a 25% chance to start a battle at confident morale and good spirits. Oh, sorry, that is his morale, sorry. Double gripped, plus 25% damage. Wow. Wow, that's great. I'm sure that works with bows too. This guy, he doesn't have any special abilities, and good. Okay, so let's get these guys some weapons and armor. We need 1 bow and 3 weapons. So hopefully we can find a bow here. Wow, pricey. And some arrows. We'll just get 1 quiver of arrows for now, and we're going to get... The spears are so good. I'm going to grab spears, 3 shields. I guess all we have is... Oh, those are expensive. I guess we're going to do bludgeoning weapons for now. Bludgeoning weapons have... All different weapons have different abilities. So, I mean, it's not terrible to have bludgeoning weapons. So let's go and equip these guys. They're not going to have great armor, but, you know, beggars can't be... Are we broke? Hold on, I don't know. Hopefully I didn't spend all our money. So he's going to get a spear... He's short-sighted. He has -1 vision. That's fine. So in this guy, he's going to do... The monk is going to do the bludgeoning weapon. Bludgeoning weapons are really good against undead, like skeletons and stuff like that. So and a shield, so he's also got the bludgeoning weapon, and we're going to give the bow to our other guy down here. He's got the arrows, and we're going to give him the knife too, just in case he gets into trouble. And I might as well, you know what, I'm going to give the good helmet to our companion, and we'll give the... So this guy is the... He's the beggar, right? He doesn't have any special abilities, whereas this guy... Hold on, which one? I like this guy. This guy's pretty good. He's got the recovery... survive if struck down, so we'll give him the helmet. If we can afford one more helmet or two more helmets, that would be great. We've got 362, so yeah, we got a couple more here. Let's grab those two. Not great, but they'll do. I mean, a straw hat is better than no hat, right? As I said, it's very important to keep your guys headgear. Okay, so not very good armor, but we do have quite a few people in our ranks. Let's put our spearmen on the end and put our other guys in the center, two bludgeoning guys on the outside. So this is the order in which they appear in battle. So this will be our front line, this will be our second line, and it's good to keep your archers back, as well as two-handed pole arms. Pole arms good to keep back because they have a range of 2. Okay, I think we're good to go. We could sell that club, I guess. Doesn't really matter, but we'll sell it anyway. Sure, we're ready to go. We are ready to go. Let's go. All right. Oh, do we have to go back to Hellstad? No, it should come up with... Oh yeah, we're going back to Westerholz. That's right. Okay, let's go back to Westerholz. It should come up with some dialogue fairly quick because we have everything we need. We have our 6 men. We actually have 7 men to go on our first little quest. Now, just a warning, a word of warning to everybody. It's pretty average to lose at least 1, if not more, guys on your first few battles, at least until some of the survivors start to move up in levels. All right, unfinished business. Here we go. Bertolf the Younger is pacing back and forth when you find him. The healer who damn near killed you with his fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Bertolf the Younger claps his hands. Finally, you're here. I have good news. We got a hold of Hoggart's former men. My good friend here had a nice little talk with a man now, and now I know where Hoggart is licking his wounds. The healer clears his throat, splaying his fingers like a maiden looking to paint them. He speaks as though he's identifying a disease he's about to excise. The brigand, known as Hoggart, is hiding in a small hut on the hills to the northeast of here. Based on my most civil discussion with one of his men, Hoggart knows the Deluksian Delinquents is on his heels and will have gathered more men since the last time you met him. Nodding, Bertolf the Younger waves you off. Good luck, Sellsword. We'll return with his head. All right, we're almost out of time, but I hope we have enough to actually do this first little battle. We're probably going to lose people here, but on the bright side, it won't be any of you guys, but just know that if you put your name in on this, you are probably going to die. It's how glorious you die in battle. That's the thing. So we're going to get $400 for completing this mission, but this mission, I don't think I've ever done it without losing anybody, on veteran anyway. So here we go. It's nighttime. Hold on, pause. Let's wait until it's morning. In the night, you don't have as much vision, so it's harder for your archers. Also, they have a penalty to hit. And I think we're better off having our archers in good shape, although I think the enemy also has archers. Whoops. I think the enemy also has archers, but that's okay. I'd much rather have our archers be at full steam here. So it's morning. Let's go. Let's attack. Attack! Ha ha ha! The Deluksian Delinquents. Here we come. There we go. A few brigand thugs and a brigand poacher. Excellent. Oh, look at the terrain. This is crazy terrain. So there is terrain advantages too. You know, if you're on higher terrain, you're going to do better, especially if you're fighting somebody on a lower piece. So let's just wait all of our guys for now, except for our front line. And we'll move up our front line, try to get up on this bridge here, because let's try and get him up there. Whoa. See, they're going to move up. Oh, this is maybe bad. Uh-oh. I don't know if they can... Yeah, I don't know. We'll try. We'll try to get up on this hill. Yeah, I suppose we could have backed off. I suppose we could have backed off and made a defensive line behind us, but I think we're better doing this. Oh, he's moved. They're moving back. Interesting. So let's get him up here. I'd love to do our spear line, like do a flanks, but I don't think we're going to be able to pull that off. Let's get our archer right over here if we can. And turn for him. And this guy... Yeah, bring him up here. Perfect. Now, they might try to flank us. I don't know. Get our other archer up here. So, of course, the higher elevation for your archers, the better. Oh, I think our crossbowman has a shot if he wants it. I'm going to leave this guy in behind as... I don't know which way they're going to go. I could maybe... No, I'm just going to end his turn. can't wait until I get the names from you guys. That way, it'll be easier to identify who's who. Okay, Brigand Thug with a spear. He has no shield, though. Should I take the shot now? No, I'm gonna move up and then take the shot. Okay, Brigand Thug to the face, 60%, and we missed. Oh, that's unfortunate. Next turn. Okay, he's got a pickaxe, which is bad against armor, or good against armor, rather. I'm gonna start moving this guy south, I think. We'll come around and maybe try to flank them this way. Yeah, probably a good plan. Okay, end turn. He's going to do a spear wall. So if they do come within 1 hex of him, he's automatically going to hit them. We could do the shield wall too, but I don't want to use up all of his fatigue. He's already used some fatigue getting up those hills. So, wait. Whoo, Archer. He's trying to hit our other Archer. Our Archer down on the hill. So that's actually, he's probably got a higher percentage of that. We're going to keep this guy waiting for now. Archer, we're going to get up on the hill, and we're going to try and hit this guy. So there's 2 options for an Archer. Quick shot, which is not very accurate, but you can generally get 2 of those in. Or aimed shot, which is much more accurate, but usually only get 1 of those shots. So let's do the quick shot. He moved also this turn, so he only gets 1 round or 1 shot. So he actually hit! Yay, good job! Let's use our... how much? He has full 9 action points. Let's do a shield and attack. So he's put up a shield wall, which will make him much harder to hit. We're going to do the same thing with him, and we could destroy this guy's armor. Destroy armor or batter, which has a higher chance of inflicting damage to armor. I think we'll just do the first one. Batter? Yeah, perfect. He missed, but I mean, that's what I want to do. So he's got a butcher's cleaver, which is really good for beheading people. This guy is done. This guy is... Let's put up his shield. Sure, let's use his shield ability. There we go. Shield wall all the way around. So we've kind of built a little bit of a flanks here. We're going to try and reload our weapon and fire at this guy. 60% chance. Nice hit. Beautiful. Let's maybe come around with this guy. That's actually a bad position. We're just going to move 1 and end his turn. Too bad he didn't move up here. We would have hit him with the spear. Ooh, oh, took some armor damage there. A little bit of health damage. See, I knew that was going to happen. So you don't want to run away. If you try to move away from somebody, there's a chance that they can take a hit and kill you, and they get a really good chance at it, actually. So we could try to knock this guy out. That's one of these special abilities for blunt weapons, is knocking them out. But I think we're just going to put up our shield, and we're going to just bash him on the head. There we go. Very nice. Excellent. Excellent. So far, so good. This is all going to move a little bit faster once we really get going here. Right in the middle, and just kill him. Kill him. End turn. Let's shoot at this guy. We're just going to use a regular shot. 38% chance hit, but we get 2 of them. And this guy, just try to stab the guy without the shield. There we go. 1 down. Now, as you kill them, or they kill you, morale is affected drastically by that. So we could try to push this guy off of this little ridge. And if we pushed him off, we could actually attack him with, be easier to attack him. That'd be kind of good, but it didn't happen. So let's just attack this guy. 2 attacks. Oh, nothing. All right, so the guy with the cleaver is here. Now, he could hit us in the head and try to chop off our heads, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Let's use our shield and try to just bash on him. Nope. Reload and attack. Hit the guy. He's using a shield. This guy doesn't have a shield. Kill him. Excellent. So notice that morale's going down pretty quick. Let's get around and attack this archer. Yes. Beautiful hit. Excellent. Killed all of his armor in 1 hit. Lovely. Oh, he's doing a riposte, so when we attack, he can attack back. Let's surround this guy. As you surround people, or they surround you, they lose morale accordingly. Let's try and knock this guy out. Oh, that didn't work. End turn. Let's get... As long as you're right behind your guys, there is no penalty for using your bow. Ooh, nice hit. Excellent. End turn. If we could do this without taking any damage, that would be... or losing anybody. Another guy down. So they're running out of morale. That's really nice. Let's just poke this guy. Poke him in the head. We've got the advantage of height. So let's reload and fire. Excellent. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is going very well. Let's try to knock him out. Oh, that didn't work. Knock him out. Aw, missed. Excellent. Or terrible. Excellent, terrible. Whatever. Let's kill that archer. Archer's dead. Wow, this guy must not have any morale left. Bash him on the head. Beautiful. He's unconscious. Now we can totally just waste him. End turn. Archer, let's move him up 1 right here and attack. There we go. Beautiful battle. Did we take any damage? Oh, we took a little bit of damage, but we got some levels. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Oh, let's loot first. Let's loot, and then we'll go. Ooh, some decent stuff in there. Some gold, some mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Some tools, everything. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. And away we go. We will come back. When we get back next time, we will raise our levels, and we'll see you then. Put in your names now. We probably won't be putting in names until the 3rd episode, because I don't record 2 today. But yeah, we're all done. All right. Take care, guys. Bye, bye, bye.